Hey everybody, how you doing? So I basically have said every reviewer on YouTube and on LinkedIn got the Rogo 2 Wireless wrong. Well, not Wireless Pro, wrong. And let me explain why. Give me some time here, and I'm going to show you some features on this Pro that are, well, let's just say way better than you think they are. Because essentially what's happened is every reviewer's looked at this as like a YouTuber. And I get it. And everybody's looked at it as a, first time starter. And I get it. But from somebody who's using the AVX system from Sennheiser, uh, this is a powerful set right here. $1,200 just for this setup. Not including the case we have over there and all the extra lavaliers like an M3, which is another $150 investment. The Rogo 2 Wireless Pro, Rode Wireless Pro. Sorry, the reason why I keep saying it that way wrong is because I have the Rogo Wireless 2 here, and I have the Pro right here. Essentially, most of the reviewers have looked at this and said, well, this is cool. This is a nice little update, but it's not perfect. Now, coming from the production side of it, I'm going to tell you right now, this has essentially killed the Zoom, the Mixpre. This utterly destroyed this with a new update to this unit here, the sender. Unbelievable what's happened. Essentially what's happened with this unit, you now have 32-bit float. Everybody knows that. But what they don't know is you have independent volume control on this unit. So what will end up happening a lot of times is a microphone will be plugged in and it will sound a certain way. And I'm about to switch microphones, so cover your ears. When microphones, I keep getting red. When you switch microphones, it's going to have a little difference in volume. You probably notice the difference in volume here. With that change in volume, you would need to make adjustments in your recording device. Not the case here. So on this unit, okay, so I can see that there. There's an option when you press it, you get your normal 15 decibel gain. Press the button here. 15 decibel gain. That's all people are normally paying attention to. But if you press this button and then press this one, you'll see an individual gain number. What that individual gain number allows you to do is change the volume on this unit. That makes a huge difference because if you're trying to get your recording right and get your decibel levels right and match them through your recording, it's quick and it's easy, as you can see there. Let me switch microphones again. So as you switch microphones, you're going to have different volumes. And this is just a little bit different in volume, but not a huge difference. That's a big, big, big plus. It just destroys this on that part because you didn't have individual volume from each one of the receivers or senders to the receiver. That's a huge, huge difference because on this, it's just a singular volume and later on you got to fix it in post. That's huge. Same thing goes for this. Now this unit happens to be one of my favorite to work with. Essentially with this unit right here, you get great audio, great dynamic range, really good microphone that comes with it. This lavalier microphone, I think it's an M2 or something like that, but it just works really good overall. We've had great success with it. 17 hours of battery life. So yeah, it does destroy the 7 hours here, but here's the but. In between shoots, you can just throw this in the case and it charges itself. That's huge. There is no time code generation out this. Now, depending on the unit you're working with, and this is where it kind of destroys the Mixpre and the Zoom, and this is that with time code coming off of this unit, depending on the camera, Blackmagics, Panasonics, some of the Sonys that have the multiple tracks, so on and so forth, time code is really easy to work with off of this. It just generates a sound that goes on track, left or right, and then you just put your audio on the other track, and then you can split your audio later because you got a very clean 32-bit recording on these units, which effectively gives you the ability to time code and have excellent audio. There are some deficits though. Uh, Maximum frame rate for time code is going to be 30 frames per second. So if you're one of those people who loves to be at 60 frames per second or 50, no love, not going to help you. The other part is I heard or saw the complaints about the menu when it comes to utilizing the Rode Wireless Pro. I got it right now. Rode Wireless Pro, because you have to hook it to a computer. I got to tell you, if I just got to bring a laptop on site, which I'm going to do anyway because I've got to download audio and get it ready, and I don't have to bring an F8N Pro, I don't have to be a Mixpre, I don't have to bring a sound device for talking head interviews, and all I need is just some lavaliers and I'm ready to go. Brother, sister, all those out there working in this field, you know, this is where we need to be at, because a lot of times we're running a solo team, or we're running a team with a gaffer, or we're running a team with an audio 2 or 3. They're not an A1. We're not going to bring in someone for that for a talking head. And really the shotgun microphone there is just to capture ambient. But if I don't have to capture the ambient to get the right audio in, this is just marvelous. Now look at the menu. This is where a lot of people are saying that it's not good because you got to go to the computer and there's just not much you can do with it. But really there's a lot. So you go into the mic itself, you'll see the recordings right here. You'll see how long they are and so on and so forth. You can even switch it over to 32-bit float. Those are all the things you can do really easy. You can go put the MP3 play on there. You can do 320 kilobits, which I have no idea why you'd ever want to do that, but hey, whatever makes you happy, go for it. I always do wave. I use 32-bit float, and then makes everything easy. Hit the cog, then you really get into the fun parts. So on this one, this is where things are really unique. You've got gain assist, which a lot of people have been talking about. You got auto gain assist, then you got dynamic gain assist. And these are the two areas that people are really working on when it comes to doing YouTube videos, because then they don't have to worry about gain assist and everything else. Throw a mic in, you're ready to go. Then go into post-production and then mess with stuff later. You try doing a ton of high-end videos that's got to go out to UNICEF, Urban League, City of Seattle, some other company that I got an NDA with. You might want to do this. This here lets you just do decibel to decibel what you need for gain on your microphone. You can also turn this button right here on the bottom into multiple options. So marker, mute, or none. Markers are nice. Mute is good, but I don't like giving them the ability to mute because, let's be honest, it happens by accident. The always record is really nice because I leave it on always record. This has 44 hours of 32-bit float record time. I want you to comprehend that. 44 hours. I don't need to bring an SD card or anything else. It's 44 hours. I plug in this case right here, this one, and I can grab all the audio off of it in one shot. And that's from both senders. This does make a difference. Mainly, I want to bring over here just the audio controls. Now, if we go into the other features, this may kill the mic, so please forgive me. If it kills the mic, I'll switch over to another one. No, it didn't. Sweet. It didn't kill the mic. Now we're in the receiver. This part's pretty cool. So when you're in this menu, you can actually control both the sender and the receiver from this menu. So as you can see right here, if you've got somebody who is doing a live stream and you want to make sure that their volume is right, and you're using like any camera system out there, and you're just using these wireless mics, you can control their volume here, and you can also control the manual gain here. You can decide if the channels are merged or if they are not. This is where you can do a lot of functionality. So you can merge one, left and right. You can have left, right together, and one as a headphone jack. You can split it just any way you want to. You can do a safety channel. So there's a lot of different options here. And then when you go into the time code, this is where you have to make decisions. Do you want the time code to come out of the right through the USB, or do you want it to come out the right through the headphone jack? So, I mean, you got a couple of options here. How you do it. Here's your clock. So when you ask, or they say time code is difficult on this, it's stupidly easy. Absolutely stupidly easy. So I just don't understand most of the videos once I've had this in hand, why they say this is not as good as it is. But I think most of them have never had to work with, you know, having to do a lot of work down the road in post-production because they have editors to take care of most of that for them. And it's cool. I respect that. But when you're looking at a system that's super easy to use, that makes a difference. The other part that's really cool on this is I can utilize higher end microphones like this one. This was an inexpensive one, but over the head microphones are fairly common for discussions and panels. I like them a lot because you don't have to worry about feedback issues. If I'm doing front of house work, yes, I said front of house work, on a smaller system where I know that we're going to be in a small hotel or a convention room that's really small, I'll deploy something like this into a small board. Hear me out. Same technology, 2.4. Same technology, 2.4. Doesn't make a difference. Sender, 2.4. This happens to be a bigger body. Sender, 2.4. Happens to be a smaller body. And we're in a room where we're going to have 30 or 40 feet of transmission. It's not going to make a difference. When it goes into the board, yes, headphone jack. That may cause some noise, but if you got good cables, it's not going to make a difference. Yes, XLR line. Could possibly be a little bit cleaner, but when you're doing front of house work, it's really negligible, the difference. If I was doing this for a long-term production where I'm turning this into A.P.C, NBC, CBS, and it's going to be on a movie, or if I'm turning it into Fox, Disney, Netflix, I may want to step it up a little bit, but really, no. And then that sounds weird, but really, no. It's going to be just as good using this system here as this for most productions. And that just brings us back to the beginning. How is this system of the Rode Wireless Pro going to kill out a $2,500 system? When I say $2,500, this is $1,200. If you get a Mixpre sound design, it's going to be roughly between $1,000 to $1,500 to $1,800 for the system. If you go with Zoom, F8N Pro, F8N, or was it F6, you're looking at anywhere between $800 to $1,200, not including a bag and battery systems and everything else. Cards, you're really looking at about $2,500. And that's for a single person. You look at $3,600 if you're doing two people in an interview. That's crazy. Wiring up two people. How is this system going to kill that out? For 90% of the work that you're going to be doing, you're just not going to need an external recorder at the beginning of your career. You're just not. It's nice to have, but you're not. Most of your YouTube stuff, you're not going to need it. Most of your talking head interviews, frankly put, not going to need it. Now, that doesn't mean don't come to the corporate event with, or go to a corporate interview without that equipment, because you may want to bring it, because you want to have that little bit extra, just know with this system here now, it's not needed as much. Now, I do a lot of A1 work for our team here. We're about to do a live event tomorrow. We're going to have 2 rooms with audio, bunch of videos coming in, 4 microphones. And guess what? I'm not using this system for that because we're going to be having presenters on a live stream. They're going to have a handheld microphone. And I'm not using this system either. I'm using a Shure system. It's going to be UHF. So just remember, use the right piece for the right package that you're delivering for that day. Uh, it does make a difference, but at the same time, you can kill it with this. And with the way that Rode has unified their product line too, this works for their live streaming equipment they've got, for their podcasting equipment. So you really do have a dynamic hookup with that system. Same goes for the Rogo 2, but this one is probably going to get given to somebody who's building their career. And frankly put, the reason why it's going to be given to somebody building a career is because other people have helped me out and have made my career better. And to do anything less than support a new creator is just not being fair. I'm going to pick up another one of these fairly soon. And then once I do that, this is going to go bye-bye. Mainly the reason why it's going to go bye-bye is my only concern with the Rogo Wireless 2 combined with this is if I've got 4 people that I'm going to be doing an interview with. I'm going to be doing one of these fairly soon. Transmission delay. I ran into this with this unit here. So we're done with Rogo Wireless. I'm about to go rant on something else that does relate to the Rogo Wireless Pro and the Rogo Wireless 2 and DJI Wireless. So if you want to listen, continue on. If not, shut the video off, enjoy, go on with your day. But this is the second part of the video. Transmission delay. I have not tested it yet, but there are a few manufacturers out there who are, Canon and Sony in particular, have the ability to do 4-channel audio. Canon are higher end cameras. Sony actually starting in like the sub $2,000. I know it's $2,100 camera. That would be the FX30, which I love to use all the time. It's a great camera. 4-channel audio. So essentially what I would do is I would plug one of these in. I would use one of these connectors, plug this into the side of, no, wrong way around. There's another version of this, but it would plug into the camera's handle. And then I would use the headphone jack cable or TRS cable for the other input. And I have 4 channels of audio going into the Sony FX30 and just recording it there. Or I could run one into the Atomos and I could run one into the camera itself and then match up framing. Either way, if I'm running them directly into the camera, worried about the delay. I ran into it recently with the DJI. We had one of these and one DJI system. So this one here and the DJI system. And there was a little bit of delay and it caused an echo in the recording. Now, it's easy for me to fix it. I can just, reduce volume on the other people when other people are talking. It's not an end of the world thing, but if you're doing 4-channel audio, which that's another plus with these new cameras, doing 4-channel audio, 2 of these, full setup, $1,000, less than 1,000. I would say like $1,200 if you buy the warranty, which is what I would do, buy the warranty. $1,200, 2 of these units, plus warranty. You got all the mics you need. I'm using one of their mics right now. Against the $3,000 for 2 channels, no audio recording, auto recording on all the channels. To do 4 channels of audio with the AVX system is going to cost you $4,800. I'm able to do a lot with this without having to go to an AVX. Now, the AVX, on the other hand, is a really good industry standard one, and people will be comfortable with it. And you're going to have clients who know products. And I don't blame you for having the AVX system. And as a matter of fact, it is my favorite of the wireless systems that's out there until the wireless Go 2s came up, and then the Wireless Pro came up, and it changed my point of view. We've had nothing but success with these. These have been phenomenal. So Sennheiser, don't get mad at me. I love working with you. You guys are great. Add recording into these, and then these become number one. Make a 32-bit float, recording built into these units, these come back to being number one. Until then, they're 1B. Like, if I need a handheld microphone, there's no way I'm going to take the omnidirectional mic on this and plug it into a little janky looking microphone thing. That's not going to happen. So if I'm using this with this, winner, winner. That's why it's 1B or 1A, depending on the situation. But if I'm doing wireless labs, this is 1B. So I have a choice. Am I going to run this, or if I'm going to run this over running this? Our team already does make the decision to run these, which is crazy. To think that we've come this far. See, this is what happens when you do an impromptu video. You just don't prepare. You just throw stuff out there. But then we've come this far that a little unit like this has 44 hours of 32-bit float audio in it. Think about this for a moment. 44 hours of continuous recording. So you can do a week's worth of videos on this. This is continuously going. I mean, this is do 4 hours of work and then stop, and then go another 4 hours and stop, call it a day, pack up for the day, come back in the next day, another four, stop, and just keep going. That is just amazing. These units right here, the ability to control the volume for these units, plus the volume going into your camera, phenomenal. I can't even get that precision with this. And that's not to say that this isn't great, but there's really only, if you look at this unit here, okay, camera. Let me turn this on real quick. So this button right here, these light up. So basically that's full volume, that's 3/4, that's half, and that's 1/4. That's all the volume control I get. On this unit here, I can control, and I do mean this, I can control up to 30 decibels. Because right now it's at plus 14. So get in front of this camera here. I can control, I'm reading this backwards, so forgive me. I can add upwards of 30 decibels of volume control on each unit. Cannot do that with any other system that I know of. Right off the unit, record, except for the DJI. And even that, there's a Hollyland 2, but those two, I don't trust them to last a workday. That's the big problem. I don't trust them to last a workday. And that's a major issue. I have worked many, many days with both these, the predecessor to this unit, and the DJI. The DJI has failed me a few times. And that's annoying. Gotta have my coffee. Because the DJI, beautiful system, but too plasticky, breaks. Then the next thing that comes up, well, yeah, but at least they got the magnetic thing. Got that too with the new one. And they had it available on this one because it's the same clip. It just goes over like this, and old unit, sag magnetic. They just don't charge you for the accessory. Now, here's where the other part comes in. Now I've done all my rants about how this is better or this is worse or this has been my experience. Yeehaw. Happy for me. There we go. But I have to say, for $400, you get way more than $400 worth of stuff. So let me explain why you get more than $400 worth of stuff. And this might be the end of it. If you're still watching, cool. If you're not, that's cool. This is the reason why I say a lot of people got this all wrong. High-speed data cable, 60-watt power pass-through. This is actually very unique, especially for Mac users. The reason why I say this is unique for Mac users is how many times it didn't have the right cable to run power while they're on a set doing a live stream. This is pretty cool. You just basically cheat and use this cable. Power it up, keep your laptop going. That's pretty nice for a Mac Air. For my laptop, doesn't make a difference. Got a Surface Book, so we got a whole different proprietary connector, but this is a great data cable. So for transferring information from the case, which this case is pretty awesome, it works as the dock. You can get both microphones and transfer data over quickly. So you get that cable. Those are usually like $20 cables. Whoopty. In the Rogo 2 wireless, they didn't have this, which was the USB-C to USB-C cable that comes with this package now, which I think is phenomenal. Saves me a ton of money buying accessories, because right there alone, I'm looking at $20 between those two. Then the coveted iPhone users, lightning cable to USB-C cable. This is like one of the big ones that everyone has to like buy for 20 or 30 bucks. Comes with it. The TRS cable that I never use of theirs, because every single time I've ran into shielding issues, especially because I run a lot of equipment near each other. I have an Atomos Shogun. I'm going to have a shotgun microphone, and I'm going to have the wireless goes. So when I'm running all of that, it's just too much interference. So I get shielded cables, but that's pretty nice to have. The last bit, which is probably the most important, is this kit comes with 2 of these lavalier microphones. Each one of these is $100 a piece if you buy them outside the kit. And I took the time to invest in, let's see, this is the microphone I invested in. I'm going to make some noise, but that's just life. I took the time and money to invest in the pencil microphones from Rode, which are like $80 a piece, to go along with my Rogo 2 wireless set. So that means this $299 set came out to roughly $460, not including a case, because they give you a little pouch, not including 2 cases, because this comes with a case for the accessories and a docking case. So for $400, which is $30 more, $40 more, I got 2 lavaliers, docking case. Oh yeah, this little $30 worth of accessories, these little mounts, you know, the extras, the wind muffs, all of that, the extra cables. You get a phenomenal setup for inexpensive. Now, I would have done a big production out of this and made it all pretty, but the fact of the matter is I got a shoot to get ready for. I wanted people to know that a lot of the reviews you've heard on YouTube are way off. There's some good pieces on it, but really, they're a little bit off because most of them are YouTubers and they're really good at getting people's attention to buy a product. I'm here and I teach people how to use audio and video equipment all the time within our team. I'm their tech. Fact of the matter is, if you're looking to have the best systems out there and really, knock it out the park, you got to try out new products, and you've got to be willing to take the loss. And I've taken the loss on a couple of different products. And then when I went to the Rogo wireless system, the Rogo 2, I've never looked back. The versatility of it is amazing. The ability I can use this on clients all the time to save massive headaches for Zoom calls and everything else really makes a big difference. And what I mean by that is I get in Zoom calls every single day from phones. And being able to plug, give me a moment here. Being able to send them a cord, one of these, pre-set up, so all I got to do is put their headphones in, tell them the app to download, and they just plug it into their phone like this, and they go into their Zoom meetings, that makes a difference. That makes a huge difference. Or they plug it into the laptop and go to the Zoom meeting. And these are people who are going to be our keynote presenters. Huge. Because with hybrid events, I needed a microphone system that was easy to use, easy to send out, not that expensive if we lose it, because let's be fair, not every system comes back, and that sucks, but reality of it is not every system comes back. I don't like saying that, but shipping happens. And I did say shipping happens because sometimes shipments don't always arrive when they're supposed to arrive, and sometimes they don't. So it's difficult. But to say that I have the most versatile systems with the Rogue Go 2 wireless and the Rogue Now Pro that I've got, I got to say yes. And does it kill out if we were doing let's just stick with 2-channel recording. 2-channel recording when you're having a quick interview, side by side, fireside chat, like what recently did with the mayor. If you want to hear how good the Rogue Go wireless is, watch that. It's on the channel. You're looking at the premier systems that are going to just change the industry. And I think what's going to happen is, I'm fairly certain is, Sennheiser is not going to lose out on the AVX to anybody, period. So Sennheiser is going to put an audio recording feature into this with SD card, 32-bit, and up to a 512 card. That's what I think is going to happen with these. They're going to change the volume control on this part of the unit where you have the ability to have linear volume control. But it's going to be USB. It's not going to be built into the unit. They're going to keep this unit the same. They're just going to add a piece of circuitry in, and it's going to be USB because there's no point in redesigning this because it's pretty easy to design. For most of the times, we set it right here at 2 red dots, do our sound staging, and comes out magnificent. So I can't complain on these. I've used these so much over the last couple of years for our sound staging that I love them. They're just great. It just turns out that Rode has given me a new solution for interviewing and other ENG work. And now I can actually use microphones from Sennheiser that have the locking, which is really nice because then, like, yes, happy, happy, happy. What else I have to say on this? The fact that we have cases coming with it, the fact that it comes with all the microphones you need. If you were to start off, this is the last part of this, so you take this any way you want. I have used so many different cameras from Sony, Canon, Blackmagic, Panasonic, Red. But if you were to start off and you wanted to begin your career as an interviewer and you had to go with a single small package that had like the simplest but the best setup, I would say go with a Rode shotgun microphone that's easy to plug in. Those are nice. Or go with an AT1. Was it Audio Technica? Any one of those would be nice. Just anything around $300, and you'd be surprised. You can even get a Sennheiser one, 600, I think it's what it's called, MK. Other really, really nice microphone. Or you can go with the Rode for NTGs. There's one right in that $300 sweet spot. And you're going to go with one of those, and it's going to be a superb shotgun microphone to start off with to pick up ambient audio. Notice it's an ambient because unless you're going to put it up properly, and you're not going to rig everything right when you're first interviewing. But if you get one of these, you get a Sony FX30, good lenses on there. Make sure you get the FX30 with the handle. So pay the extra couple $100, get that handle. You'll get 24-bit audio recorded into the system. You'll get 32-bit audio right here that you can pull off anytime you want to. And you're going to have the ability to have 2 people mic'd up. And what's really cool, apparently there's a way of adding a third mic to this and getting even more audio into the system, which I'm still going to investigate that and make sure how well that works, because if it does work really good, then that's going to be kind of cool. We're going to add that into one of our standalone packages for interviews. You could really start off with a package for less than no lights, but with an Atomos, matte box, cage, microphones, $3,500. And we rated to deliver ProRes, RAW, with great audio, interviews every single day. Think about that for a moment. That's where we're at. 2 years ago, that setup would need an external audio recorder. Wouldn't be RAW. It would just be, especially out of a small package for that price, you're talking $8,000-$9,000. We can do it for $3,500 now. It makes a huge difference. Anyway, thank you for watching. It looks like I had a couple people watching, but thank you for watching, and it's been fun. Y'all have a good day. Peace.